Warhol took advantage of the tools of mass production to capitalize on his work. He famously wanted to remove the hand of the artist from the process of making the art itself. The focus was on the concept. He said, "Whatever I do and do machine-like, that's what I want to do." AI promises to do the same for whoever is up to prompting a piece of music. If you have a friend that can draw or paint, you probably have been moved or amazed by something they've done, more so than you have by seeing a picture of the Mona Lisa. Why is that? Even though we're very good at reducing the human experience into something that can be bought or sold, the real, up-close, intimate experience will always be far more valuable than any copies created, or copies of those copies. In my last video, I asked as many questions as possible to try to understand the justification for the use of AI in music. In this video, we center on AI music specifically, and the most common arguments that CEOs and tech advocates use and repeat about AI-generated music. I'm Elander. Please consider supporting my work as an independent artist by joining my Patreon for free or for a fee using the link below. Back in the 2020s, we were already dealing with an overflowing amount of music uploaded to streaming platforms by artists, averaging 50,000 songs or tracks a day. Now, adding on to that, we have an overwhelming amount of AI music being uploaded to streaming platforms as well. Then, over 50,000 of these are delivered daily to streaming platforms. Do you find this to be problematic? Or should we see this as a win for all? In case you didn't know, AI-generated music has an ironclad leader, and that is Suno. They describe themselves as a platform that allows you to make any song you can imagine. They claim to make high-quality music creation accessible to all. Do we really need to question how much quality there is in immediacy and minimal human intervention? I would say that the embrace of AI-generated music has three different levels. One is using it as a source of ideas. Two is using it to produce demos, which singer-songwriters can then send to a producer, and then the producer will use this demo as a guideline or something to imitate. And then three is using AI to prompt songs and using them as finished products. And it seems like it suffices that the line is drawn at "I prompted it." Fame seems to be the measuring bar for success in music. In that scenario, Warhol's quote seems to be the entire motto behind the music industry. But make no mistakes, this idea of AI helping you find your artistic voice and find talents you didn't know you have is a ploy using the enticing idea of fame, then mediocrity, and justifying it with an AI output that completely decontextualizes anything it produces. Why? Because it doesn't experience the world the way we do, consciously or unconsciously. We move within community systems, social and cultural codes, historical contexts, different socio-economical backgrounds. The list is endless, and a prompt made by you will never be able to provide the context that only you can, without even trying. Daniel Ek, current Spotify executive chairman, says that 100 years ago, you needed to be a musical genius to be able to test your ideas, and that you needed a big budget to do so. Therefore, there were not many of these composers, and he's referring to the likes of Beethoven. He says this in an interview with Cleo Abrams. Then Cleo agrees that the use of technology has lowered the barrier of technical skill needed to be creative. And apparently that's how we've gotten greater music throughout history. So they are talking about this idea of democratizing music or making music more accessible. And I have to agree, music had not been democratized then, but it has not been democratized now. With a few exceptions, music remains a privilege of affluent classes in societies. However, are we under the illusion that music, since the advent of the internet and the computer, which is not the same as AI, has meant fewer resources needed to create art? The use of AI for the creation of art is ludicrous. Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, even fears that the technology he helped build could wipe out humanity. Some argue that the problem is not AI itself, but that there need to be systems in place to help compensate musicians fairly. As far as pro-AI arguments go, I would consider this to be one of the weakest, if not the worst. Artists have been struggling for a long time. Those who create original work, those who perform, and those who teach. Hell, even pop stars. The instability has always been there. With few exceptions, musicians will never count on salaries, benefits, retirement plans by a company, or even to be paid for their services and time. So the lack of mobilization and empathy has always been there. The lack of systems that support artists has always been there. Few other jobs offer exposure as remuneration and perpetuate systems of exploitation even at the highest end of success. Cleo Abrams' video, even though made a couple of years ago, summarizes pretty well all of these arguments pro-AI music. I find myself having visceral reactions to all these claims made about AI music. When I hear AI removes the barrier of technical skill needed to be creative, I think, why build a barrier between you and a skill? When I hear AI bridges the gap, I think, why can't we build the bridge? Under the direction of greedy hands, AI won't be used for the best. From what I see, unless we actively decide to make the best use of AI that we can, no one will draw that line for us. Let me just put it this way. Just because you like alcohol, it doesn't mean that it needs to be allowed in schools. For Egyptians, beer represented hydration and sustenance, was safer to drink than Nile water, it was nutritious, and it was often given to workers as well. But we know better now than to be productive over beer. What I'm saying is, do we really need to wait for specific research or lawmaking to tell us that if we don't use our brains, we become dumber? In the next and last video, I suggest a personal plan of action regarding AI music. I'm Lander, thanks for watching.